An Israeli startup is tackling back pain in a groundbreaking way. Sacher is the CEO of Premia Spine, and he joins us with more. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Natasha.
So I see this very interesting model that you have right here. What does Premia Spine do?
Premia Spine has invented an alternative to spinal fusion. For those who aren't familiar with spinal fusion, many times patients have debilitating back pain that requires a surgery that ultimately leads to the bolting of two vertebral bodies together, eliminating motion. And we've basically identified an opportunity to invent an implant that recreates normal motion at the spine segment. So much like an artificial hip or an artificial knee, instead of bolting the vertebral bodies together and eliminating motion with the hope of eliminating pain, we actually allow the surgeon to remove the pain generators and put in an artificial joint. So much like, as I said, a knee replacement or a hip replacement, you can have an artificial joint in your back which would recreate all the normal motions that you do as part of your regular daily activity. Bending, flexion, extension, all the normal activities can be recreated with this device.
That's amazing. So what is the difference between the current method that exists right now to treat this issue versus what your company is offering?
The traditional approach is to put in 4 pedicle screws, similar to these types of screws that you see here. But instead of putting an artificial joint, you simply put 2 rods, and that basically eliminates all motion in the lumbar spine. When you eliminate that motion, you can create what's called adjacent level disease, where the problem that existed at this level moves to the next level, and so after a number of years you may find yourself coming back into the operating theater for another procedure. And our idea is to really treat the problem by recreating normal motion at that segment. So we have, as you can see here, a joint that moves. This is how your joint normally moves when it's healthy, and simply when it's diseased, we allow the surgeon to remove this joint and replace it with an artificial joint.
Wow, okay, so who suffers from this issue the most? Who are the main people dealing with this?
This problem is a degenerative disease, so from the ages of 50 and above you start to have problems of spinal stenosis, of slip disc. These are quite common problems. In the United States, you have upwards of 400,000 patients every year who undergo lumbar fusion surgery, and the majority of them are coming in because of those types of diseases of the lumbar spine.
So is this available now in the United States, or where's your technology available right now in this given moment?
So the technology is available, unfortunately, only in Europe and in Israel, but we will be starting a U.S. clinical trial in 2016. The purpose of that trial is to prove the safety and efficacy of this device. Patients who are involved in the study would be followed over a 2-year period, and ultimately we would apply for approval in the United States, and the FDA hopefully would approve the technology, and then it would be available commercially.
Well, that's great. So Premia Spine is an Israeli company with technology pioneered by Israelis. Why did your startup decide to focus on this issue?
Well, we were very, very interested in solving problems in the orthopedic field, and we spoke with surgeons not only in Israel but also in Europe and the United States, and tried to identify where our knowledge and technology could be applied. We have a lot of experience and knowledge in joint arthroplasty, and we looked at hips and knees, and ultimately we identified an underserved need in the lumbar spine, and we decided to focus on this particular problem. We've been working on this particular technology for over a decade. We have patients who are already out to 11 years with this technology. So this is a very long project that we've been engaged in for, as I said, over a decade. And we feel that we've come up with a solution that's really game-changing and novel, and will ultimately be the gold standard for decades going forward.
Well, it looks like you're headed in the right direction, and I'm excited to see when you guys open up and start having this technology available in the United States.
We look forward to it as well.
Great, thanks so much.
Thank you, Natasha.